for people that don't know, while the show's going on, sometimes I have to go to the other side of the building to edit videos. So I was actually...
I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah, I know, right? Some people don't know. But I was putting up Valdez's bomb that he had dropped where he had spilled, coffee or whatever in your car.
Yeah, watermelon protein powder.
Right, so I'm editing that video, and I feel like I have, like, water in my ear, and I don't know what's going on, and it feels like I got something in my ear, and I just start messing with it, and then all of a sudden, it's like I was drunk as hell with the spins. Have you ever been that drunk, Lurch? I mean, the world was spinning out of control.
It's been years.
Okay, yeah, well, for me it was
Come on, we're
like 2
responsible
years
adults
ago.
now.
Yeah,
Hello.
right. Yeah.
But so, and I'm looking at the computer screen, and the computer screen is going in circles, and I'm not moving, and I freak out, and I get up, and I see a couple of the sales and digital staff over there, and I say something's not right, and they just completely ignore me,
Right,
like
of course.
usual.
So they just walked right by you.
Mid-sales
Right.
quotas to meet.
And so I
You're
start
just talking out loud to yourself.
yeah. I mean, it was weird. And so I start like going down the hallway, and I couldn't walk straight. I'm stumbling.
Right.
I started using the wall to hold myself up. It was like one of those weird.
His equilibrium was shot.
Yeah.
Right.
You
It was
had
like,
nothing.
It was like at King's Dominion, that weird walk where you're walking sideways. So I'm holding onto the wall, and CK sees me, and I say, CK, something's wrong. And he like grabs me as I'm about to fall and puts me in a chair. And I start saying, he said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, you're going in circles right now. Stop moving, CK." And he said, I'm not moving. You must have vertigo.
Right.
And so they called the paramedics, and
you were really peaked. You looked awful. You were like, sit back in the chair, as Cakes said. You didn't look good.
No.
You looked scared. I know you were having a hard time breathing.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I said immediately, I said, well, he's having an anxiety attack.
Right.
Yeah.
I can tell right now the kid's having an anxiety attack.
I thought he was just dehydrated.
Yeah, because also he was telling everybody that all he did was eat chicken soup all week because he'd been sick.
Yeah, didn't drink a lot of
So
water.
I thought, all right, well, the kid hadn't had any proper nutrition. He'd been sick. This is what it is. This loser ruined bits of the show.
And our
He's gonna
career.
go off and he's gonna either die or he's gonna have some sort of brain trauma, and he just
he's not gonna work
ruined
anymore.
bits
Yeah.
for the rest of the history of the show.
As I was walking to my car, the only thing I could think of, I hope he signed a waiver.
Yeah,
I hope he signed his life away.
right.
So when the paramedics came in and saw you initially, did they diagnose it as vertigo?
No,
They didn't know.
They didn't know.
CK was telling him about the lacrosse ball, and I was telling them that my hands and feet were tingling and feeling numb, and the world was still spinning. It wasn't stopping. My head was killing me.
But he was.
So when you were sitting in the office with CK, was he spinning at that time?
Yes, and
When
he's got the John Wall poster and everything. It was going in circles.
So when I looked
John
at
Wall
you,
is fast.
when I ducked my head in to check on you, was I spinning?
I think when you came in, it had calmed down, and it wasn't spinning, but my vision was a little blurred.
Right.
And
Well,
he
it's a
was,
silly spin move.
and Adam, it's just crazy. He's only a kid. He's never really had any health issues.
Right.
So it really weirded you out, right? You've
Right.
never had that feeling before.
You were scared.
He got
I
butt scared.
I panicked.
He had a
Yeah.
panic
I mean,
attack.
in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, the guy was telling me what symptoms mean and stuff, and he said I had all the symptoms of a brain bleed, and that's when
Right.
my chest started collapsing. I mean, I really was having a
so
vertigo
then-
attack and an anxiety attack.
And then what happened?
And so then I get to the hospital.
I heard they had to cut off your jacket because you were having a panic attack.
Right. I kept saying I can't breathe.
Was it a silly jacket?
What kind of jacket
It's
were
like
you
a
wearing?
polo sweatshirt. Yeah,
you better.
long
Polo.
sleeve. Long sleeve. Yeah.
You lost a polo?
Oh, no, they actually cut through
Was it like
Right.
U.S. Polo Club
Dude, they
or
had
Polo?
him. They had
real
him like
polo.
they had him like tied down on a board, and this had another panic attack.
You had another one.
I mean,
So
I
you
think it
can't
was
help
the same
yourself.
one. I
I
didn't
can't
stop.
help myself. Yeah.
So you had 2 panic attacks.
I
You
was
probably had
panicking the whole
multiple.
time.
Yeah, you
right?
had
Yeah.
multiple.
Multiple
I mean, when
panic
they
attacks.
said the word brain bleed, my body went into shock and my hands were shaking.
So the good news
I
is,
can't believe the guy told you that.
well,
I
they
don't
were
think
just-
he didn't mean to tell me. He leaned
They were
forward
talking out
and
loud,
said,
probably.
"You better flip on the lights, and we should hurry up. He might have a brain bleed."
That's what
Oh, my
that's
God.
what I'd be concerned.
theory I had heard. The latest theory was he blew his nose too hard, and that gave him vertigo.
Really?
Yeah, because the way vertigo works,
Seriously.
I don't even
it's
know
your
how it's
inner ear.
caused.
He blew his nose so hard he gave himself vertigo.
So you busted something in the inner ear.
something,
Busted a vessel?
Right. Something with the inner ear moved into the wrong place, and then it thinks gravity is moving differently than
Your
it actually
body's
is.
it's a hurting ecosystem
Good
over
God.
there.
Did you spend the night in the hospital?
No, I got
Oh,
out.
Oh,
around
they
1
released
o'clock.
him. He was walking around like
They
Safeway
need
later
to give
that
the bag
night.
to somebody who really needs it.
But you didn't drive all weekend.
Well, he's
Right,
not
and I
allowed
still
to.
can't drive. But I remember I was in the hospital, and there was no nurses around me because obviously they knew it was just vertigo, but they hadn't told me.
And
'cause
you're
the CAT
screaming,
scan,
right?
I started screaming, "Nurse, I'm having trouble breathing here. Nurse, why is my chest collapsing?
Can you imagine
Nurse!"
how much of a nightmare he
Dude,
was?
he started
the worst.
screaming. I heard he started screaming that I'm dying, and no one was in there. Is that true?
I didn't say the words "I'm dying." I kept saying, "I can't breathe."
Right.
I
So
can't
you
breathe.
had minimum of 3 panic attacks.
Right.
You had 1 here at the station.
Right.
You had 1 in the and there's serious things. I have family members that have panic attacks. They are nothing to for some reason with you, they're comical. You had 1 in the ambulance and then at least another 1 in the hospital.
Yeah.
Right.
Did they throw a big vat of Xanax at you on the way out? Say,
No.
get out of here, kid.